Hey y'all, hey, and welcome to Tootie Talk Sense. And I am Tootie. You see, I started off looking at the wrong camera. I didn't have technological, oh, got an echo. I didn't had all type of technological issues. Right now, I'm trying to get started. That's why I'm running a little bit late. Hopefully, I can get these three subjects in before I gotta get up out of here. Okay. Now, the three subjects I want to talk about is Sergio Brown case update. Elijah McClain, officers being found was acquitted on the charges in his case. And then I seen this hilarious interview, y'all, from the mayor in Dolton, Illinois. And she was accused of like misappropriating tax funds in Vegas and stuff, baby. But the reactions that she gave to that question, have you ever been in Vegas? She was like, mm, mm. I hate hilarious. So typically, with the Elijah McClain story, I've tried covering stories like that sometimes make you so angry. But what I'm gonna do is just read the article and just to be informed and updated on what's going on. So I'm gonna start off with that because I want to get that at least read and share that information, even though this is some days old. And yeah, I've been out because I had we just did a little mini vacation. My family, my husband, my kids, my sister, and his brother, and so it was fun, and we had a ball. So I hadn't been here for the weekend. The week before that, it was my brother in law. It was the 1 year since he didn't pass, and we released balloons and everything. Did a memorial here for him because that was a close friend, and I consider him a close friend of mine. So I haven't been on here for like a week. So hopefully, you know, I'll be back consistent. My mom birthday is coming up, and it's 22 years since she didn't pass, but her heavenly birthday, will be coming up this week. And I'm trying to still be on here, trying to still keep busy, but there's a lot going on, y'all. So don't think I forgot about y'all. Don't my subscribers, my little channel. I haven't forgot. I just been busy and trying to get things organized. Which I'm sorry, I'm still looking at the wrong camera because my camera went out. So I'm using the camera on my laptop. That's why you see me looking over here, forgetting I'm over here. But yeah, let me go ahead and read this update. So officers who arrested Elijah McClain found not guilty. Now I'm not gonna play a video because that video is still difficult to watch because in the video he's telling them I'm an introvert. He's telling them, my behavior is not, what you're used to. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. He's just he's just walking and trying to get home. And so when people say for black people, for me, when it's like, oh, you was unalive for being black, it was, oh well, no, it was because he did. No, at the end of the day, it was because he was black, because if he was another race, he would have just been able to walk home and he would have never been stopped. So let me read this story. Aurora police officer Nathan Woodyard was found not guilty by a Colorado jury Monday on all charges relating to the unalive Elijah McClain, an unarmed 23-year-old black man who died after he was wrestled to the ground by police and injected with ketamine by paramedics in 2019. Wayward Woodyard had pleaded not guilty to the charges of reckless manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide in connection with McClain's death. The officer remains suspended from the department. Okay, checking the value without pay pending the outcome of the trial. The charges stem from the arrest of McClain on August 24th, 2019, when officer responded to a call about a suspicious person wearing a ski mask, according to the indictment. The officer confronted McClain, a massage therapist, musician, and animal lover, who was walking home from a convenience store carrying a plastic bag with iced tea. In an interaction captured on body cam footage, police wrestled McClain to the ground and placed him in a cardiac hold, and paramedics later injected him with the powerful sedative ketamine. He suffered cardiac arrest on the way to the hospital and was pronounced dead 3 days later. Shanine McClain, Elijah McClain, mother, told CNN officiate KUSA Monday. She no longer has faith in the justice system after wayward acquittal. That's the officer. The mom, like, I don't have faith in this justice system because the men who unalived my son just got off. It lets us down, not just people of color. It lets everybody down. She said they don't do the right thing. They always do the bare minimum. She said she felt disappointed. Everyone involved in her son's death hadn't faced more accountability. Two paramedics who was charged after his death are set to go on trial in the coming weeks. It's just unfortunate that the people that stopped my son, brutalized my son, tortured my son, get away with murder, and they're passing on what they did to the medical professionals that still were supposed to do their job. She said nobody did. So it's just unfortunate that they are placing the blame and passing the buck. She and local activist McClain Holmes left the courthouse after the verdict, holding hands and raising their fists in the air. Colorado Attorney General Philip Weiser expressed disappointment over Woodyard's acquittal, but said he and his team respect and accept the outcome. Speaking outside the courthouse shortly after the verdict was read, Weiser said he is thinking of McClain's mother, who has fought hard to keep her son's memory alive and live on as a blessing. No mother should go through what she gone through. We must all do what we can to stop the unlawful and unnecessary use of force that could result in people dying at the hands of the law. As I said before, only then will we have true justice and accountability. After wayward acquittal, his attorneys, Andrew Ho and Megan Dowling, said they are respectful of the process and what is a very, very difficult case. I don't know. Prosecutors initially declined to bring charges against the officers and paramedics involving McClain's death, but the case received renewed scrutiny following the national Black Lives Matter protest in the spring of 2020. Colorado Governor Jared Polis appointed a special prosecutor to re-examine the case, and in 2021, a grand jury indicted Wayward, two other officers, and the paramedics. Wayward trial began last month and features testimony from Aurora law enforcement who responded to the scene, as well as doctors who analyzed McClain's death. The jury was deliberating for a second day Monday when they came to a unanimous verdict. During a 15-day trial, the defense called law enforcement and medical expert along with Woodyard himself to testify. Prosecutor argued that the officer used excessive force against McClain in the form of two carotid holes. The officer then failed to check his vital sign, even as he threw up in his ski mask and repeatedly said, "I can't breathe." Yeah, this is Dr. Roger Mitchell Jr., a forensic pathologist who reviewed McClain's autopsy, testified that the cause of death was complications following acute ketamine administrative during a violent subdual and restraint by law officers, emergency response personnel. He testified there was a direct causal link between the officer actions and McClain's death. So, but this is what the medical examiner testified. That was pretty much saying that it was, there was a link between the drugs and the officer hold that they put on him. That either, that had it not been for one or the other, that he probably would still be alive right now. So the officers are trying to put it off on a paramedic, saying it's an overdose, while the paramedics are saying that the officer that put him in the hole caused the heart, the stress on the heart. So it's just like the moms. That's why the mom said they're trying to pass the buck between each other. And like the mom said, what she said was true. In both cases, the officer and the paramedics failed her son. They was there to do the job. This one blaming that one blaming this one. At the end of the day, neither one of y'all did y'all job. He should have been allowed to just walk home from the store. Okay, we're gonna move on. So it should be upcoming trials for I think that was just one officer. So there's two more officers and the paramedics that still have a trial that they need to finish. So let's move on to Sergio Brown, y'all. So I was watching, I have covered Sergio Brown since they have found his mother out in Maywood, Illinois, the suburbs of Chicago. And then he went missing. And then he was recently arrested coming back from Mexico. So Sergio Brown, he pled not guilty. Let me just read. Sergio Brown pled not guilty and it was denied bond. So the mother, and then I want to show y'all this Nancy Grace interview. Not an interview. She did, I would call a commentary on the case. But and the information she provided was not information I seen anywhere else. So I'm gonna show the interview in connection to what she said. And also you got to be careful what news source you intake and what they say. Because there were some things that they said that I was like, and then all that talking and they and them. I'm like, Sergio is one person. What's this they and them? And they get opportunities and they get this, and you can't, and they can't blame it on the upbringing. But anyway, let me go ahead and continue. So the mother had just returned. Sergio Brown mother, Myrtle, had just returned from Aruba. She had celebrated her 73rd birthday on September the 8th. Her sister talked to her around September the 14th. And her son wasn't able to get in touch with her on the 15th or 17th. Murder was found wrapped in a blanket. And now Nancy Grace, she's the only one who I didn't see this detail, who said that the mother was naked up under the blanket. And that was from a reporter that was on her show who was in court the day of his bond hearing. Now the neighbor ring doorbell show footage of him who was Sergio. They show footage of Sergio taking out trash and starting a fire pit. Shortly after, they believe that's when the mom was unalive. So, well, shortly before that, but he was burning her clothes, because they said, and this is what Nancy reported, that the mother clothes was found in a fire pit, and she had blunt force trauma to her head, and which all news outlet reported she had blunt force trauma to her head, but Nancy is reporting she had a broken neck. Besides the blunt force trauma to her head, she also had a broken neck. They also said that blood was found in the back of the patio, that Ajax was found in the bathtub drain, that there was DNA under her nails that matched DNA from Sergio Brown toothbrush. So that's what initially, besides the fact that he was missing. But of course, when they first found him, they didn't name him as a suspect. So once the DNA came back, that's when they named him as a suspect and put on his was looking for him to arrest him, and he did his videos in Mexico. Now her phone, iPad, and credit card was missing. They were found on Sergio Brown at his arrest. Again, this is what Nancy reported. I haven't seen it anywhere else, but this is what they're saying. He booked plane tickets to Mexico on her credit card. And she goes off saying a child goes into the world by saying, oh, okay, this is when Nancy started on their day stuff. And I'm like, day, Sergio is one person, baby. What you really trying to say right here? What is you really trying to say? I looked at it a little, Let me share the video with y'all real quick. Now this is taken from everything is moving slow, y'all. Let's see. Yeah. So this is taken from Nancy Grace YouTube page. So I'm sharing it under the Fair Use Act. Let me just put up my banner real quick before I share it. If this stuff wants to act right today. Okay. Now let's listen to Nancy and her use of they and them.
Without love, abused, mistreated, underprivileged. Very often, excuses are made for them later in life when they commit a crime. It is argued that that's how they were brought up. They don't know any different life, and so they continue the life that they know. right or wrong, that is not an excuse for a felony, especially a violent felony. But it's even more of a conundrum, Dr. Bethany, when the person basically grows up with a silver spoon in their mouth and then they act out. If you can call murdering your mother acting out, that's kind of like putting perfume on the pig.
Yeah, I said there's a lot of they and them in that commentary when you talking about one person, which is Sergio. But then, baby, when she talk about how the college that Sergio Brown went to, and she was just there, I said, Nancy, sound like you more concerned about the life that he lived and the money that he made than the crime that he did, baby. Focus.
About trying to get the twins, where do they want to go to college? The meeting was with Notre Dame. We were all sitting in this big auditorium. You know how much that costs? $80,000 plus a year.
My God.
Did you hear that? $80,000 plus a year. That's some school, right? And that's where Sergio Brown went. So he's had all of these wonderful things happening in his life.
Create good mental health.
So the doctor,
Nancy, what you're describing is
the doctor tell her, this is the part where the doctor's telling Nancy the simple self. You see Nancy saying, that it ain't about the money in the school that you went to. It's a mental thing.
A man whose early attachment systems were secure. It's the attachment systems that create good mental health, position the person for life. It's not necessarily their education or whether or not they grow up in a crime-ridden neighborhood or how much money the parents have. It's whether or not the parents love the child. And there was plenty of love in this household. Furthermore, Sergio Brown went on to get an MBA in adulthood.
Okay, stop.
So not only
Stop. What? Mm-hmm. So he graduated from college and got an MBA, a master's in business?
Absolutely, after having great success in the NFL.
Good luck, everybody trying to tell me that he has insanity or mental defect. Hey.
And then you see how shocked she was. Wait a minute, he has an MBA? Yes. Some black people got MBAs. That's what I see in my man.
A good way to get your head bashed in. So go ahead.
But guess who was?
So then this is the guy who's in court. He comes and said that Sergio Brown is broke and he can't afford an attorney, so they had to appoint a public defender.
Appointed to represent him at the court hearing yesterday.
Right, is that serious? You really want me to guess?
The public defender of Cook County. He's broke.
Oh, okay. Stop right there. Stop. He's broke.
He had no money to hire an attorney, so the judge appointed the public defender to represent him.
Okay. Hold on. Paul Duffy with me, former Deputy Senior Inspector, U.S. Marshal Service, Senior Consultant with the Group 9 Risk Consultants, and contractor with the U.S. Marshal Service. Does that mean they get you to do things they're not supposed to do? Don't answer that. You have the fifth.
Okay, so let's move on to
is that within the realm of possibility?
That this is where they were saying that now this is, again, I'm pointing out the things that only Nancy have said. I have not seen this on other channels, but Nancy is saying that he used she's reporting that he used his mom's credit card to buy that ticket to Mexico, that one-way ticket.
Forrest McFarland.
It for sure is. And based on what prosecutors said in the hearing yesterday, it seems like he bought a one-way ticket as soon as his mother is believed to be killed. So
a one-way ticket? The only thing worse is if he used her credit card. Jackie, are you telling me he actually used her credit card? That's a yes, no. Yes. Okay. Yeah. He just made it worse. So Irv Miller, renowned criminal defense attorney from the Miller firm, he goes missing immediately after his mother is killed. He turns up in one location in Mexico, partying, as Forrest McFarland has described, then suggests he's in Sydney, Australia, which is a 15, 18-hour flight, then begins posting characters from Finding Nemo. Irv, I want you to hear a little bit of the Instagram rant.
Okay, so we already heard the rant. So let me go
areas
on.
of injury. She had a broken neck.
Like I said, I'm gonna go back just a couple of seconds so y'all can hear. This is where I said it hadn't been reported anywhere else, but they're reporting on here that she had a broken neck. All the other reports said that she had a blunt force trauma to the head. There's reporting besides the blunt force trauma that she also had a broken neck. So let me try to go to the exact spot where he said that at.
Presented in court basically said that the cause of death, one of the areas of injury, she had a broken neck. In addition to that, when you said she was found with a sheet covering her, she was found nude underneath that sheet. And there was video of him burning some objects in a fire pit shortly thereafter, which later turned to be clothing. My guess is he did that because his blood was on her clothing, and he had the sense to try to get rid of that evidence by burning it. And so that adds a little insight into what was going through his mind at the time this happened. He also stole her phone, her credit cards, and they were found on him at the time of his arrest in Mexico.
And Nancy, if I could, going back to
Okay, so this is
the
what they said.
assailant and try and match it with.
This is where they said the blood under the fingernails, under her fingernails, matched Sergio Brown's.
The thing I would do is I would definitely take the fingernail clippings and look for possible blood or DNA under there from the assailant and try and match it with the defendant. That's what I would do. As far as other evidence,
that's exactly what happened in this case, actually.
Okay, good. Good. Yeah,
and there was a match. There was blood underneath her fingernail, and that the Maywood police were able to send it to the Illinois State Police Crime Lab, and there was a match between
bathroom with Ajax.
And so then this is something else interesting I found that they reported on, that Sergio Brown, now of course this case is about the unaliving of his mother, but they're trying to show character as far as he has a violent like history or background. Now they try to use a gang in the NFL when they saying that he broke a guy's arm. Now, if y'all could find it, go ahead, let me know in the comments. I did not find it. What I found was a lot of videos of this quarterback or somebody else who pretty much pushed him outside, and everybody was making comments. You know, the sports commentary later was about how this guy did him, and it was because he was talking crap to him. But I'm like, ain't that's what they do? I think that's what they do in the in NFL and sports. They talk crap to one another, but they did a lot of reporting about it, and it was pretty much he got what he deserved. Not that Sergio Brown got what he deserved. Now, let me go and show you what she said about it. What he said happened and what I found happened. That's why I said you also got to be careful. So I don't know if this trying to, convince people who watch her before the trial even happened about his guilt. Now, do I believe? Yes, I believe he's guilty. That's just my belief. But I don't know if I believe the story they telling about him as far as what happened when he was in the thing. This may be just extra sauce that they're trying to add. I do believe he had some mental issues, whether it's the CTE or just mental issues from whatever. I don't know if he was using drugs or whatever, but it do seems like he had mental issues. But check out this part of what they said happened. Wait, 33. And so this is the part I'm talking about. When he's talking about happened, I cannot find anything to back up what he said happened. The guy arm did get broke, but I can't find anything that says Sergio Brown is the one who broke it. So I say evil that y'all didn't want to, that they didn't, got rid of that clip because y'all don't want to, y'all want to talk about the black man and broke that white boy arm. But when the what's his name? Rob Gronkowski, when he took Sergio and threw him off of things, that was just funny and hilarious to all the commentaries. So I said, let's see. Now, I'm gonna show you. This is the clip that went on when that happened. Hopefully, can y'all see it? Okay.
It's a backs that was talking trash to him. Sergio Brown, I think, is who it was. And he kept talking trash. And all of a sudden, Gronk said, "That's enough." And he goes out and he drives this kid, through the end zone, out the back, 10 yards out of bounds, and then throws him.
Right. But how we reversing
You came
this
off the field and we're doing this. Like, he's been talking.
How we reversing this is Sergio Brown was in this clip. It's the wrong one. The football tackle didn't happen and everything. And he's still pushing him all on the ground, pushing him out. And everybody's all happy and congratulating him about it. But they was mad when Sergio Brown, in a tackle, his arm got broke. That's what, sometimes that happens.
To me this whole game, and it was revenge time.
Yes, he was just yapping to me the whole time, and that's why I took him and threw him out of the club, out of the end zone. So, when the
You
guy's
were the
yapping,
bouncer?
I was the bouncer. I picked him up, tossed him out of the club on that one touchdown.
It's the greatest quote I ever heard. I had to throw him out of the club, and he did.
That's awesome.
There was a kid, one of the defensive backs, that was talking trash to him. Sergio Brown, I think, is who it was.
See, I said, oh, that. But you see how the guy had reported it though. That Sergio Brown, it broke his arm because of blah blah blah. Now I did see a news article where the guy's arm was broke, but I'm gonna share it with y'all. And this article is from if I can get it to come up because it's acting funny today. Get all types of pop up on here. See, suffered broken arm, out 4 to 6 weeks. The New England patient has a broken left arm that kept him out of action for the last 4 to 6 weeks. Is unclear on. See, he was on the field for a final extra point with 3:55 to play, lined up as the right wing. He attempted to block a defender that cut inside of him. As he walked off the field, he was favoring his left shoulder. That's all it says. So, and the good news, Patriots, the following Starting tackle Aaron Hernandez is close to returning from an ankle injury that kept him out for the past 8 weeks. If y'all know the Aaron Hernandez story, you'll be like, that's just an odd, coincidence. So anyway, the only thing I found credible at the end of Nancy's interview, and Nancy kept cutting that lady off. Y'all had to go watch her whole interview if you want. I got a little aggravated watching Nancy, but is the doctor that she had at the end of it, who to me the most to me sounds plausible what this doctor is saying. I said, to me that sounds like more than likely what happened, but Nancy didn't want to hear it. Let me see if I can share that with y'all real quick. And then I had this little video, this hilarious video that at least we'll edit off with something funny, So you'll have this little hilarious video at the end that shows this mayor of Dolton, Illinois.
I disagree. I totally disagree with that.
You're going to give him some deep psychological motive, and I honestly can't wait to hear it. Okay, I got to get comfortable for this. Go ahead.
I do have professional athletes and former pro athletes in my practice, and often they get addicted to a combination of painkillers, opiates, steroids, and a stimulant like methamphetamine. And they use them all together for multiple reasons: to hold on to their energy, their youth, mostly to bulk up and to feel like the former athlete they once were, the opiates to cover all the pain that they're suffering after having played for so many years. And this turns into a lethal combination for somebody who's already sociopathic in terms of his character. So you have multiple factors at work. I think his mother probably just said no to something small, finally had it, set a limit. He went into a roid rage on stimulants. We know with meth, they don't just kill, it's overkill. After he killed her, he panicked. He wrapped the body not out of love and reverence, he wrapped it out of disgust. This is why mothers wrap their babies before they throw them in the trash, or, Casey Anthony, put her daughter wasn't it garbage bags? It's because they can't bear to look at what they've done. He didn't want to see the naked body of his mother with her neck snapped and blood all over the place. It's kind of like a teenager when they throw away their, half-eaten hamburger. They usually stuff it in a bag before they put it in the trash. It's disgust. That's all it is. Why did he take her iPad and bank cards? It's because he had sunk so low. He probably didn't even have 3 cents in his own wallet to get to Mexico. I don't think it was thought out at all. I don't think it was a robbery. I don't think the death was staged. I think he was out of his mind on drugs.
Okay,
and he's a sociopath, and he was losing.
Of course, I never.
So yeah, that's pretty much wrapped that interview up. So the update on Sergio Brown is that he went to court, and they denied his bond. He said he's broke. He was assigned a public defender. So when I get another update on that, I'll be back with the update on that. So for now, let's watch this interview with this this Dolton mayor. Is a on the outskirts of it, not the outskirts, but yeah, pretty much the outskirts. It's farther away from Chicago, maybe 30-45 minutes from Chicago. It's the south suburbs of Chicago, y'all. And this mayor here is hilarious. I'm gonna take a part of this clip and keep it because I hollered when they got to questioning her, and she said, I ain't gonna say I never been to Las Vegas, but I say, right, girl, don't let him trap you with that question.
A small south suburb with big bills and leaders with expensive taste. Last night, we showed you how some residents and elected
and this is from the WGN YouTube page.
Officials claim the local mayor retaliates against people who don't support her.
Well, tonight we look at a spending spree that's also causing questions and concern. Again, investigative reporter Ben Bradley.
40 minutes south of Chicago, you'll find Dolton, Illinois. The median income is $24,000 a year. And yet the mayor collects more than 10 times that amount from various elected positions. And as we found, a paycheck isn't the only perk.
In south suburban Dolton, the economic challenges run deep.
We still have areas that need trees cut, streets paved, alleys paved, sidewalks fixed. It's a lot of that going on.
And a lot that's being spent, not on critical
find ways to fix what is broken.
She is Mayor Tiffany Heynard.
But then they run in y'all, say y'all this look fictitious story.
Would you like to just do an interview with me?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, let's go. I mean,
In addition to leading Dolton, she also serves as supervisor of Thornton Township.
You make almost $300,000 between your two elected positions.
This right here, y'all.
I don't know where you got that number from.
We got it from her own village and township
So
records.
I do not. The
These are
devil
tax
is a lie.
dollars.
So is the money being spent on village credit cards. WGN Investigates obtained copies of statements that reveal village officials have spent more than $24,000 at restaurants in just 1 year, including this Midlothian barbecue joint and a South Holland sub shop.
I've seen the same thing and more. You name it, they've done it.
Other questionable expenses include the streaming service Hulu, flights to Texas, Alabama, and Missouri, and
Credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board, not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
No,
You
sir.
didn't go to Las Vegas?
Right here.
Mm,
I forget
What
my
is that?
right there.
okay.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
Vegas?
I handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas?
I hollered. I hollered.
What is that?
No comment.
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
actually, yes.
No
The
comment.
credit card.
Y'all can watch the rest of it. It's the WGN news channel. But let me get out of here. Hopefully I'll be going back into the stuff that I've been missed since I was out for that week, and I'm still looking at the wrong camera. Hopefully I'll be going back from the stuff that I missed this week, and I'm gonna be covering old topics and other things that came up in the future. I think my next video would be the Nia and Jeezy, and also the Keke Palmer and her the restraining order that she put on her baby dad. So y'all put in the comments what else y'all want to talk about. Put in the comments how you feel about these stories that I just covered. Also, like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Follow me on all social media under Tootie Talk Sense, and I will catch y'all next time. Have a good day. I would say bye, but the camera's acting up. But there's a lag, but still, y'all.